Hello, my Teaserking family. How are you today? I am fine. Um, Hit the game yesterday. We had OKC minus nine, 9.5. They win by 11. Uh, Very simple. They had to win. And now Indy's the bet tomorrow. And off we go with sports psychology at its finest. Big news today, silver 37, now 11. There seems to be some derivatives going down right now. They're shorting as gold's down to 33.77 on some no news. Nobody's selling. But silver's 37, and that's key because now here comes 40, here comes 50, here comes 100. And there'll be a lot of happy people because silver is so much easier to own 1,000 ounces of than gold, right? Um, 10 ounces is $370, and times by 100 ounces is 3,700. So it's not hard to get 1,000 ounces of silver, not very expensive, right? You go back and get I was getting those 20 weight containers full. So it'd be 20, 20, 20. And I'd get 40, 60 ounces, boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden I got 700 ounces. So once silver moved, that's why everybody's like, I got all this silver. If it moves, I'm going to be rich. And now we're finally getting there, getting to 37. And now this should go to 40 and 50 very soon. Then we'll all be pretty happy campers. So that's what's been frustrated because we know though this is all bullshit. This is not a real price. This is not a free market price. This is all JP Morgan doing his derivatives as they're shorting. That shows you how stupid they are. The only idiots shorting something that's high in demand. Who does that? Well, we're going to short gold and silver. Yeah, the demand's huge because of brics. Well, why don't you just buy it and let the price go up? It's like a basketball game where they fixed, and the best player could win the game by 100 if they let them play. And they say, "Oh, you can't play," and but you can win by 7 and no more. And you're like, "Well, fuck! If you would have let the guy play, they'd have won by 30, and you would have won the other way." It's always interesting when they fix a game. They always fix for the underdog, like the Super Bowl III. Not let Baltimore win. No, we're gonna let the Jets, take the Jets and the points. And then Earl Morrall had to throw 4 picks. Really, really good quarterback. Then he comes and plays for Miami, and now he's good. And you're like, yeah, he's a traitor, and he's a fucking loser. All right. Anyway, so silver over 37, up 75 cents. And again, that's the difference. Gold goes up $40, $50, and silver goes up 75 cents. But again, we all have a lot of silver. And again, that's why we like silver. It's easier. It's a trade-off. On the gold, it goes up $100. On silver, it goes up 75 cents. But the other part of it, the quantity, it's much easier to get 1,000 ounces of silver than it is 1,000 ounces of gold. So gold, you're kind of multiplying by 100, and silver, you're multiplying by 700, 800, or 1,000. Anyway, so we're happy to see it finally breaking. I talked to my friend at the pool yesterday, so she wanted. I was telling her you got to buy it, so she gave me $100. Says go buy. Well, I can only buy her 2.5 ounces. I'll buy her 3 and just pay the difference, 37. So it'll cost me 39, roughly 40. So it's 120 for 3 ounces. It'd be like 115 for 3 ounces. So I'll just pay the extra 15. All right. So that's what's going on. I love when people keep like alligator. He's so stupid. He keeps saying it's not gold going up. It's the dollar going down. And it's ridiculous. His whole concept doesn't make any sense. I understand because I'm the one who said it. Gold cost you $35 in 1971. Now costs you $3,000. So the ounce of gold didn't change. That's true, but he doesn't understand it. It's still an ounce of gold, not like tuna fish went from 6 ounces to 4 ounces, right? So yes, it's still an ounce of gold, but the dollar isn't going down. The dollar is gone. The dollar's gone down already. It's not going down now. It's worthless. The dollar's worthless. That's why Oreos are $5 a bag and Lucky Charms are $7 for a box, because the dollar's worthless. So gold's not going up because the dollar's going down anymore. The dollar's gone down and gold didn't go up. Now gold's going up because of the demand of brics. And he has a hard time understanding that things can go up because of demand. Clearly, he's not an economist, because that's the first thing you learn. So if there's a huge demand for 12-year-old Canadian club, the price goes up because of the demand. People want it. It's 12 years. It tastes better. It's Canadian club. So instead of paying $30 for it, you can get $50 for it. And if it runs off the shelves, then you raise the price to 60 or 70. That's how prices go up, because of demand, because people want it. So they charge more. And then they get it and they go, oh, fine. We were charging 50 and we could charge 60 and we'll still get profit. Fine, we'll do that. And that's really what's happening. There's more demand for gold. That's why the price is going up, not because the dollar's going down. So is silver now going up because the dollar's going down, but gold's going down today? I mean, it doesn't make sense. If the dollar's strengthening, then gold would go down and silver would go down. But wait a minute, the dollar is not strengthening. It can't. It's printed. There's $150 trillion printed. China and Japan are selling it and getting out of it, and it's coming back. So now there's more dollars that they don't use, causing even more inflation. Well, that is not why gold's going up, because part of it is comex price fixing it, and part of it is the demand for gold is driving it up. So, hey, David, how are you today? So, I mean, there's no the dollar going down. Dollar's down. The dollar is gone. The dollar's worthless. Therefore, the gold price at 3,400 is not because of the dollar going down anymore. It's because of demand by the BRICS countries. Demand drives prices up. This is a Red Wing Stanley Cup, all right? But because they won the Stanley Cup, they could sell it for more because of the demand, because they won the Stanley Cup. Or you see these people, Ohio State national champs, Michigan national champs, USC national champs. They sell for more, and they sell a ton of them because everybody wants a national champ t-shirt or sweatshirt or something, which is perfectly fine. But that's why the price goes up. That's why they're even able to sell them. You don't see runner-up. What did Ohio State beat Notre Dame? You don't see people running around with Notre Dame runner-up t-shirts, do you? No, just Ohio State national champ t-shirts. You might see Notre Dame championship game, Notre Dame, Ohio State, but you don't see Notre Dame, we came in second t-shirts. So it's mostly demand that raises price. He's a little bit confused. He's a lot confused, actually, in his assumptions that it's the dollar going down, not gold going up. He says it, and it's just like he's an idiot. He's wrong when he says it, and he keeps saying it, and he's wrong, and he looks like an idiot. That is not correct. That is not what makes the prices of gold going up, the dollar going down. It's the demand. The dollar going down creates the demand to buy the gold because there's no other access. So this is worthless. So if this is worthless, I got to get out of it and I go buy gold. Well, that creates demand for gold because this is worthless. Not the other way around. I'm getting out of dollars. Well, that's like saying, I'm not going to the grocery store for food. I'm getting out of dollars and I choose to buy steaks. What kind of idiot is that? No, I'm buying steaks and I use dollars. I'm buying gold and I use dollars. I choose to buy gold because the dollar has no value. So it's not the dollar going down. The dollar's down. The dollar's gone. It can't go down anymore. So gold's going up because of demand from BRICS, period. There's 44 countries now in BRICS needing gold-backed currency. And Trump's like, oh, wait, let's Brics, don't do it. And they're laughing like we've already done it. It's already out. China's already out. Curious to see what July 1st looks like as far as the Basel III making you have to deliver gold and silver in the U.S. We have not had to deliver. That's probably why you see silver jumping. They're probably trying to buy it ahead of Basel III, is my guess. And you see it in the 37s. Supposedly, once it hits 40, it goes to 50. And then Katie bar the door, it'll be 100. And we'll all be smiling, going, yes. That's why we're ahead of the game, because we know we've already seen where we need to go. We already seen the dollar's worthless. And that's my Titanic thing. It hit the iceberg. The water's coming in the ship. The water's coming in the dollar. It's flooded. It's worthless. So we already have seen that. We know that's what's happened. And therefore, the only lifeboat's gold and silver. It all makes sense. Yeah, where else can you put your money? So we're already ahead of the game. People are like, well, why is gold going up? Why is silver going up? Because the fucking dollar isn't worth anything. Yeah, but we're the U.S. government. We won't say anything. We won't put it on the news. We won't even remark about it. And okay, we don't need you to understand what's going on. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of a good master's in Austrian economics. I just had an interview for a job with a cooler company. So they sell like we were watching Adam Smith with the big coolers they ship. So they ship to different countries, things that need to be cold, meat, dairy products. And but you learned about it in Adam Smith and you learned about it in Austrian economics. I said, I didn't even know there was two economics, Keynesian and Austrian, but I'm damn glad I went and learned it. And there's always a reason things happen. Because if I didn't go to that school and learn Austrian economics, none of us would understand what the fuck's going on. So I'm very happy I did and can share that knowledge with you, as it's hard for anybody to really get the knowledge. You got to stumble on Adam Smith on YouTube and watch it, or watch The Wealth of Nations, but who's going to read this sucker? That's why it's a better view on YouTube, but that's what's happening. So anyway, let's go. So NBA yesterday laying 9.5, and OKC wins 120 to 109. They win by 11. Laying 9.5, it's a winner. They had to win the game. If they were down 3-2 now, Indy would win the series. Possibly. Maybe not, but probably. So now we have game 6 on Thursday. And OKC's a 4.5-point favorite. And now the total is down to 224. We had a 229 yesterday. They finally got a big number that they were expecting. OKC 4.5. They don't have to win the game. Indy loses the game, they're eliminated. Look for Indy to win, getting 4.5. Now, last in the game 4, they had the lead the whole game and then lost by 7, and we're getting 6.5. So OKC had to win that game. So we see in the games, they don't really blow them out too badly. I think Indy at home wins the game. Take the 4.5. I mean, you get 4.5, which is even a bigger joke. So you get 4.5 in a game that in OKC can lose, and then they play game 7 at home. Indy can't lose. It's that psychological thing is why we like Indiana in this game. We don't look at anything else. We don't look at matchups. We don't look at shit. The series is 2-2 now, 3-2. That's what we look at, and we go, oh, okay. You take the home team; they have to win. And it's and they're getting 4.5. So Indy, not a lock, but a very strong play on Indy tomorrow. Major League Baseball. Jesus. Oh, that's final. Okay. We nailed the Yankee game under 8.5. I think didn't Max Fried pitch. So Philly they win 5-2. let's take a look at did Bryce Harper play. We have Washington to beat Colorado, loses 6-4, and that's where you kind of get into Washington doesn't hit very well. Even though Colorado's only won 2 games, they still are capable. Our big game was the Yankees under 8.5, and they lose 1-0 in 11 innings with Max Fried. We have Tampa. They beat Baltimore 7-1. We have Seattle that loses to Boston 2-0. Again, that was based on Boston traveling from Boston to Seattle yesterday, and they shut out Lewis Giolano 3-1 with a 4.73, shuts out Seattle. Boston's playing good ball. We have Oakland over 10.5 with Houston, and they win 3-1. Their pitcher with a 5.13 ERA gives up 1 run to Houston. Hard to believe. And we got San Diego, and they lose with Dylan Cease on the mound. Satani played 1 inning. I don't even think he played the inning. He got pulled in the first inning, 18 pitches, probably got hurt. I can't imagine him not finishing, but they were hitting them. They got 3 runs on him. So careful with Otani there. He's not the superstar of superstars. Okay, let's look at today, 6/17. We got Philly at Miami again, 6-10. Philly 188.5 has Zeus Luzardo 6-2 with the 4.23. Kel Quintel 3-7 with the 5.61. 3-7 with the 5.61. So what should be we were looking about Bryce Harper. So let me get back to that. He came back and then he got hurt again, I think, and he's been out. Let's see if he played last night. I don't think he did. No, he didn't. So Turner, Schwarber, Bond, Castellanos, Rojas, Kempler, Kemp, Scott. So we don't have Bryce Harper. It didn't stop them. They won 5-2 yesterday. But I want to start betting Philadelphia over. I want to have Bryce Harper in the lineup. All right. So Philly, Miami. Miami stinks. They lost 3 to Colorado. Cal Quintrell 3-7 with the 5.61. So I'm going to go Philly over 8.5 here. Now, you know what? Let's just bet Philly 2 units. Fuck the totals. God knows they're confusing as hell. All right. So this is a 6-10 game. We'll go Philadelphia. Pittsburgh at Detroit. Detroit minus 208. Bailey Falter 5-3 with the 3.36 against Casey Mize. 6-2, but his 2.95 is not real. It's more like 4. Falter 5-3 with the 3.36. Detroit. Let me see if this Falter's left-handed. Detroit. He's a lefty. Detroit's struggling with left-handers. Their right-handers aren't hitting, and the manager won't play his best players against the lefty. This Carpenter guy and a couple others, and the manager is actually losing the game for himself. I'm going to go under here. I'm going to go Pitt, and I'm going to go under 8. But I think Pittsburgh wins because I don't buy Casey Mize. I don't smell what he's cooking. 6-2 with a 2.95 ERA. I'm not buying that. Falter 5-3 with the 3.36, and he's left-handed. Detroit won't score much in the game. And therefore, I can't bet Detroit laying minus 200. So this is definitely an under game. Colorado, Washington. Colorado got the 15 wins. They beat Washington. Are you serious? Washington minus 209.5. See, Washington's a very bad team. They're almost a Z team. So if Colorado's a Z team, Washington's like a double team, a W team. 30-42. Which sucks. Antonio Senzalta, 1-10 with the 7.23 against Michael Chiranka, 3-4 with the 5.14. Colorado score. We're gonna. It's now. Here's where it's hard. Washington doesn't have a lot of hitters, 3 or 4 hitters, so it makes it very difficult for Washington to score a lot. Colorado's got a few hitters, I'm noticing. So I think they both have like 4 hitters. But Colorado 1-10 with the 7.23. So Washington should have a field day. Colorado. So we got to go over 9.5 again. Hard to lay minus 200 with a 3-4, 5.14 ERA pitcher, even though he's going against a 7.23 pitcher. So there should be plenty of runs. That's how we got to look at it, but I can't bet it. They don't have enough hitting. California and the Yankees. California won 1-0 over Max Fried yesterday. Yankees are minus 250 and 9. Kyle Hendricks 4-6 with the 5.20 ERA against Will Warren 4-3 with the 4.86 ERA. I'm going to go under with the Yankees. Under 9. They're not. I'm going to go 2 units under 9. They're not hitting the ball. They got shut out by Boston. They got shut out yesterday. You got Aaron Judge, and then the manager has like Aaron Judge and then a 190 hitter after him. Really? The managers don't know how to set a lineup up. First of all, I want my best hitter batting first because I want him up the most. I don't want my 9th hitter who hits 300. I don't want him batting 9th. My 9th hitter is going to be a guy with a 150 average, if I even let the guy with the 150 average play, which I probably don't. You got a 150 average, go learn how to hit, unless you're Mark Belanger of the Orioles or a great catcher who just can't hit. Otherwise, if you're any type of you're my center fielder, yeah, go learn how to hit. When you learn how to hit, come on back. How they let these guys in that can't hit is beyond me. All right, Arizona goes to Toronto. Toronto 120 and 9. Brandon Pfaadt 8-4, 5.50 against Chris Bassett 7-3, 3.70. Pretty good game. I can't sit there and say, "Oh, Toronto's going to win," and I can't say Arizona's going to win. Do we go over? I don't know what to do with this game. Now, keep in mind, I make the picks for you guys, but this game I never would touch. This is who the hell knows. I don't know. I'll take Toronto, but I mean, I avoid at all costs. I don't really like it, but I got to choose something. We'll take one for the team. Minnesota, Cincinnati. We saw Cincinnati. They can hit. Minnesota can hit. David Fiesta, 1-1 with a 4.76 against Andrew Abbott, 6-1 with a 1.87. Now, why is Cincinnati only minus 120 and 9 in this game? This makes no sense. I love Cincinnati. We're going to go 3 units on this one. 6-1 with a 1.87, and they're minus 120. Max Fried was what 9-1 with a 1.87, and they're like minus 300. So I don't really understand this, but I'd be all over Cincinnati. David Fiesta 1-1 with a 4.76. Yeah, go Cincinnati. Beat Minnesota. Let me talk to Daria. All right, that was Daria. I had to say hello. Okay, so Cincinnati. The Mets go to Atlanta in a very good series. Atlanta 135, 8.5. David Peterson 5-2 with the 2.49 against Spencer Swellenbach 5-4 with the 3.11. We got to go under in this game. Atlanta under 8.5, and we'll go 2 units. 2 good pitchers, 2 solid pitchers that we know are good pitchers. So yeah, there's not going to be a lot of runs here. Baltimore goes to Tampa. Tampa 125, 9.5. Dean Kremer 5-7 with the 4.99. Zach Littell 6-6, the 3.84. Let's go under in this game. Tampa Bay under 9.5, but I'm not going to bet it. St. Louis goes to the White Sox. St. Louis 145-9. Matthew Liberatore 3-6 with the 4.17. Shane Smith 3-3 with the 2.37. Liberatore's kind of weak, 3-6 with the 4.1. Now you can't really go by the wins and losses of a pitcher unless you got freed, or like Scanes. Scanes is one of the top 2 or 3 pitchers in baseball, but he's like 3-7, but he's got a 1.9 ERA. So it's just unfortunate he's got no offense, which means it's an under team. So Islap Libertaire 3-6 with the 4.17. He does have a high ERA. Shane Smith, on the other hand, 3-3 with the 2.37. But it's the White Sox, and they're terrible. It's amazing. He's 2.37. They're up to 23 games now. So Libertary, I don't know. I can't bet the White Sox. St. Louis, we'll go under 9. White Sox under 9. No bet. Milwaukee goes to the Cubbies, the other Chicago. Cubs 160-9. Chad Patrick 3-6 with the 3.25. Ben Brown 3-5 with the 5.71. Chad Patrick with the decent ERA. Ben Brown 3-5 with the 5.71. Cubbies, we'll go over with the Cubbies. They got a lot of hitting, over 9, but again, I'm not going to bet that. KC and Texas. Texas 135, 8.5. Seth Lugo 3-5 with a 3.18. Very inconsistent. No hit the Tigers for 8 innings and then lost the last game. Jack Letter for Texas 4-3 with a 3.88. We're going under 8.5. Neither team can hit. Although Texas scores 16 runs, and then they get shut out 3 games in a row. So we're going to go under. Seth Lugo should be able to control them. Boston, Seattle. Seattle 175, 7.5. Walker Buehler 5-4 to 5.01 against Ric Flair. Brian Wu 5-4 to 3.39. He let us down last game, and he lost. Buehler's bad. We're going to go with Seattle here. 2 units. Again, we'll take Ric Flair and go with it just because we don't like Buehler, and Brian Wu's a good pitcher. Cleveland against the 49ers. Frisco minus 160-7. It's at San Francisco, which means Cleveland had to fly on it. Had to fly all the way there. Hey, Pat. Silver's over 37. That's a big move. I don't know what. I thought 36 would make it go to 50, and now 37 should make it go to 50. So we'll see. It keeps moving up. Now we need 38 to go to 50, but it's moving. I think because of this Basel III, July 1st, they have to buy it to cover, and I think that's what they're doing. What's with the gold today? Who in their right mind selling an ounce of gold? I'm I went and talked to my friend at the pool yesterday, so I'm going to go buy her. She gave me 100 to buy some silver. I can only really buy her 2 ounces, but I'll buy her 3 and just pay the $15 to pay to buy her the third one. One girl I gave 10 ounces to, one of the lifeguards. I just gave her 10 ounces for Christmas. I said, here. And, people don't realize when you say, hey, hold on to this. This is going to $100 an ounce or 500 an ounce. Yeah, oh, yeah, sure. It's at 32. Now they start believing you. Now it's 37, and then it hits 40. Then it's going to 50. So we'll see. But I might take 100 of my own and buy as much silver as I can, buy 6 ounces or whatever. Record amounts of shorts getting killed. Yeah, doesn't that make you feel good? Because I hate idiots. Why would you short gold? And as I say in the beginning of this, I said, Alistair McLeod does not know what he's talking about. He thinks it's the dollar going down, not gold and silver going up. And he's out of his fucking mind. The reason that's going up is the demand, not the price going down. The dollar is done. It can't go down. It's at zero. How can the dollar go down? And on a day like this, does that mean the dollar's going up? That's why the gold price is going down? He doesn't get that if there's demand for something, that drives the price. It's the demand for gold driving the price up, not the dollar going down. Hey, go get a fucking Austrian economics degree, and then you can be on your little chat shows. But quit saying it's the dollar going down, not gold going up. Is gold going up? Fucking moron. At $50, there will be none left. None physical silver, are you talking? Paper market's burning down. Record amounts of shorts getting killed. At 50, there will be none left. No shorts left? Well, I can't imagine there's a lot of shorts, and they got to cover it, and that's what Basel III is. So I think that's why you're seeing the buying. It's Basel III, and they need to get out of their position, so they need to pay them off, and that's what and they'd rather buy the silver at 36, 37 than at 50 or 100. And again, the only reason people buy off of comex because it's far cheaper than the real world. I guarantee you, China does not sell this at the $37 that they're selling it at. Physical will be gone at $50. I'm not sure there's a lot of physical. At my guy's store, he does have silver. So if you are interested, he does carry, he's got a 100-ounce bar, he's got 10-ounce bars, and he's got a bunch of 1-ouncers. So he does have. They always seem to be able to get the silver. And I don't know people selling the silver to him. The gold he gets is because people come in off the street and say, I got some gold I want to sell. I need the money. But his 1/10 of an ounce gold, as I was there Saturday, was $400 for a 1/10 of an ounce. And I refused because I don't see it. I see it on eBay at like $375 and on gold, so he's getting a little expensive. His half ounces were $1,000. I gotta blow her a kiss. One millionaire could buy up the whole inventory of a coin dealer. Yeah, well, that's exactly. But the millionaires aren't smart enough to buy the gold and silver. They don't understand the dollar's worthless. So they're in bond, like Warren Buffett's in bonds. Most of these idiots are in bonds and stocks or Bitcoin. They don't understand. The only lifeboat's gold and silver. And, as I was saying, we want silver because we all have, 5, 6, 1,000, 2,000 ounces of silver, but gold, we don't have that much gold. I mean, if you have 100 ounces of gold, you're doing well. That's very expensive unless you bought it in 1972 when it was $35 an ounce. You probably have maybe around 100 ounces. So But silver, we all can easily have about 1,000 ounces, and that's really the key. So I heavily advise you to buy more silver, no matter what you got. It's a no brainer. Just keep buying it. So I'm gonna go. I gotta buy for my friend. I'll probably take another little bit out and buy some more silver. It's all you can eat. It's an all you can eat buffet. How's mom doing, Pat? Is she okay? And what's going on in Singapore? You okay there? No Trump tariff fucking you up? All right. Where was I? Seattle. Okay. Cleveland and the 49ers. I'm running back to the store. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's a no-brainer. Real quickly, I was watching Andy Scheckman, and he's trying to scare people into believing that if you don't have American gold, they could confiscate it. And it was such bullshit. And I told him to fuck off on his comments. And I said, I'll never listen to this guy again. He's just doing it for the viewers. And I'll show you that when we're done with baseball. Mom is fine. Oh, okay. I'm glad that she's much better. And it's simple. If you just stay away from fucking sugar and carbs, it's amazing how you can be healthy. Anyway, so I'm happy for that. Cleveland at the Niners. Slade Sony sounds like somebody in The Godfather. 1-3 with the 4.26 against Robbie Ray. 8-1 with a 2.55. We're going to go with San Francisco, and we'll go 2 units on that. Houston goes to Oakland. They played a 2-1 game, which is not expecting. Houston won 18-11. Jason Alexander, the guy from Seinfeld, is now a pitcher. Sounds like it. 0-0 with an 18 ERA against JP Sears 5-5. So we're going to go over again, but we're not betting it. Oakland over 11. And San Diego and the Dodgers. We don't have pitchers. The Dodgers minus 220 and 9.5. I don't know. I can't bet it without pitchers. So let me show you Andy Scheckman. And I despise this man. And I strongly advise you not to listen. Oh, wait. First, let's look at Egon.
These are 1,000-ounce silver bars. That's 30 kilos. That is the standard delivery bar, it's called. 1,000 ounces. It is never exactly 1,000 ounces. These are all individual weights and have to be weighed individually. Just like the 400-ounce gold bars. They're never 400 ounces exactly. They're all individual weights. The weight is not on here, but what is on here is, first of all, the refiner. Here, this is Argo Reyes, very well known, one of the top Swiss refiners. And then underneath here, you have 999.9. That's 4 nines. That's very significant. That is the highest purity you can really buy in silver. So that means it's 99.99% refined pure silver. So that is the highest quality silver you can buy in these type of bars. And also you have the date on here, 2016. So you know silver from this year. And finally here, you have the serial number. So each bar has a unique serial number. So between the serial number and the refiner, you can always trace the bars. These are 1,000.
That's always interesting from Egon. All right, let's look at this Andy Scheckman. And I'm really beginning to dislike this guy because he really is fucking clueless. And now he's just making you want to watch. He's trying to get viewers. He doesn't know what he's saying. He's a moron. And it's very disappointing because he is talking gold and silver, yet he's an idiot. If I can find it, I gave it a negative. Maybe that's why I can't find it. I don't know. Here's a quick Mark McGuire.
I see this headline pop up all over the place. It's almost a daily thing. Their smoke and mirrors spin aside, gold's Basel III and SFR compliance can be really summed up quite quickly.
I mean, let's face it, the task for Basel III all along was, and still is, to de-risk the global banking system. But the significant danger that they have discerned is the multi-trillion-dollar uneven gold derivative positions, the unbacked ones. Now, the LBMA is deliberately avoiding the mammoth in the room, namely that allocated gold held in any global vault is fully Basel III compliant and meets the standard of both a high-quality liquid asset and a first-tier asset. For a full episode, just click the link.
All right, that was Mark McGuire. This is why I don't like Andy Schectman, because he doesn't know what he's doing. He's always like, well, I heard from, this guy or that guy. Ray Dalio's an idiot. 5 at best assets to invest in. There's only one asset to invest in. It's called gold and silver. He says real estate. That's not a good asset to invest in now. Gold and silver that's it. That's the only spot you should put your money. Another idiot. I can't find this Andy Schectman.
So Michigan probably just did the coolest thing I've seen any state do in a while. If you live in a Michigan...
Shut the fuck up.
Israel just bombed Iran's nuclear...
Well, this is a good headline. Trump backfires again. Wall Street dumps 12 billion. Gold replaces USD, and that's comex. And that's what we've been waiting for a while. Where is Andy Schectman? I don't know. I don't see it. He must have taken it off because I buried the guy. He was saying how that they're going to hey, what am I doing on here? He made it sound like if you didn't have U.S. gold, they were going to take it. And I called him a fucking liar, but I can't find it. He must have deleted it. Yeah, I don't see it. I bet he deleted it. Because I told him, he's trying to say, well, if you have Maple Leaf gold, they're going to confiscate it. And I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind. An ounce of gold is an ounce of gold. It doesn't matter which country made it. Right? That's my whole point of it. Here's one. Tourism just collapsed. So he goes through these 10 states in America where the tourism's gone. And the number one was Texas. It was Texas, California, Florida, Illinois, New York. Nobody comes to Michigan. St. Louis, for some reason, who goes to St. Louis? But so pretty much California, nobody wants to go to. Florida, nobody's going to. Texas, Chicago, New York, the big ones. And nobody's going because they're all scared and they don't want to come to the America. So, that's what's happening. So anyway, we don't need to, I just told you what the 10 were. So Alistair McLeod was on the two brothers who are bald with bad toupees. Russia is ready for a gold standard, China next. So again, it's the normal alligator, but he is saying that China's waiting to go on the gold standard, but as soon as they go broke, and they will come out with it, but they don't want to be the cause of the U.S. collapse. They think capitalism collapses. They don't understand it's the inflation that collapses. It's not anybody's, every country, even if they're socialist, it's printing the dollar, the inflation that causes all the dollars to go out, from Rome to France to Amsterdam to Spain, Portugal, and England. They all inflated their dollars. They had gold. They became number one. They grew their government. They had wars, and they got rid of their gold for dollars and printed dollars for war, and they were gone. So as soon as they start printing the money, and ours is 1971, how we lasted 50 years makes no sense, but we did. And so that's the real key. So we have to see what's going on. But with that said, look for, I lost my train of thought. With that said, the U.S. is going out because of inflation, just like the Romans. It did not go out because of anything else. So this Ray Dalio is such an idiot. Like, oh, he's looking for patterns and that. Fuck, you can't do it. And he's trying to sell that he is. Let's see what economics explain. It's a short.
1776 was an important year for multiple reasons. Representatives from the 13 British colonies in North America signed the Declaration of Independence, creating the United States of America. But on the other side of the Atlantic, an equally important document was also published. The Scottish economist Adam Smith released an inquiry into the nature and causes of the wealth of nations, which many consider to be the founding document of modern economics. He argued that individuals pursuing their own self-interest would ultimately benefit society as a whole through increased productivity and competition. An entrepreneur is only motivated by selfish profit, but this motivates her to produce high-quality products as efficiently as possible, ultimately benefiting consumers and the economy as a whole. Assuming everybody follows a selfish profit motive, everyone will create value for society. So if the government wants to maximize the economic well-being of its citizens, the best thing they can do is nothing at all.
If you want to
see, so that's Adam Smith, is that we are all greedy. Like, I don't rest on my laurels doing this, which I don't get paid for, or doing Teaserking, which I do get paid for. I always try to get better at handicapping. I don't sit there and go, well, I've been doing it since the 70s, so therefore I'm good, and therefore buy from me. Even though I might go 20%, I go, no. I got to go as close to 100% as I can. And so I got to keep figuring out ways to get better at it. And that's what I do. So it's greedy because I want to get more customers, because I want to make them money, but then it makes me money. So it's a fair trade for both of us. But I keep trying to get better, which is what his point is. So you're getting a better service and a better service as I figure things out, which is what I do. And so he's right. So if you're making a TV, you're going to make a better TV. If you're making, cell phones, you're coming up with a better camera and a better text, or better this, better that. So that's what he's doing. Because of this, I'm able to say, hey, buy silver, buy gold. No, it's good that silver's 37. That's the best news you could hear, because it's getting to 40 to 50. And that's what you want to do, is get the silver. So that's really very important. Let's look and see what our gold and silver are doing. Gold back to 33.81 and silver at 37.19. See, people, I notice when I'm at the club and I'm on the bike and they'll see, oh, gold's down $16. That's what they want you to see. Oh, I don't want to buy gold. It's down $16. But if you understand that it's fixed and it's not people selling it, it's not like demand's gone down. It's just all options and they're manipulating it. So they're making it look like you don't want to own gold when to me it's a buying signal. Oh, fuck, I can get it at 33.80. Oh, I'm going to buy it. Or silver 37.24. It's a buying opportunity because it's moving. Now is what we've waited for $1,000 silver. It had to hit 38 to 40 to 50 to 500. It had to keep going. Now this is a positive sign to buy the silver. So buy and buy and buy. Okay, let's go through baseball today. Philadelphia, 2-unit play. Pitt under 8. We didn't bet it, but we like it. Washington over 9.5. We don't know if they can score. The Yankees under 9. They haven't been hitting 2 units. Toronto, Cincinnati's our big play, 3 units. I love the pitcher today. Atlanta under 8.5 for 2 units. Tampa Bay under 9.5. They don't hit. The White Sox under 9, a good pitcher. The Cubbies over 9. I don't know. The pitchers are Texas under 8.5. Seattle, 2 units. San Francisco, 2 units. And Oakland over 11. No bet. So the bets are Philly, the Yanks under 9, Cincy, Atlanta under 8.5, Seattle, and Frisco with Atlanta. They're all 2 units, but Cincinnati is 3. That's baseball today. Basketball tomorrow. We're looking at basketball tomorrow with that. Yesterday I went over the NFL and the NCAA with more stats in there. So I did that yesterday. If you have any questions, please ask. But I went through week 1 NFL with the new trend analysis. And then I pointed out you can't trend analysis all the teams because new coaches and new quarterbacks, like the Bears, now a new coach. Atlanta, you got Penix for 3 games, so you got to give him time. What she want? Well, she'll call back. And that'll be it. So keep that in mind. You cannot just use trends. And when these people talk about gold and silver using the trends from 2008, they're full of shit. You cannot use them because the biggest variable in the world has changed, called brics. You did not have brics in 2008. You did not have Bitcoin in 2008. So these have changed the variables. And I don't believe in Bitcoin. I think it's a scam. But brics is not a scam. They're all buying gold and silver. And that demand for the gold and silver was not there in 2008. And you can't look at the charts from 2005 to 8 and 9 and say, oh, hey, yeah, this is the difference. brics has made gold go up to 3,300, 3,400, and now it's creating silver to finally jump. So I'm anxious. I'm going to go buy for my friend, and I'll bring 100 and buy some more. I bought 11 ounces on Saturday and had a nice long talk with the owner about that. And I'm happy that he's still taking dollars, even though he doesn't understand. He shouldn't. And then, so we talked about brics, we talked about comex. So basically, comex is blowing up. It's price fixing at its worst. It's run by losers who would rather short gold that's highly in demand and silver instead of just buying the physical and letting the price run. Again, they're not very smart people. Again, this is the problem you have with analytic people who strictly, being analytics, they strictly just look at the numbers. They're too stupid to analyze. And that's the problem with sports now. Football going forward on 4th and 1, and basketball just shooting 3-point shots. Nobody really looks. They don't understand the, like me taking OKC yesterday and now taking Indiana in Game 6, because that's the emotional analytical part of it. That's what you want to do. But what they're trying to do is ridiculous. It's just looking at numbers. Well, the numbers say this, and we should go for it on 4th down because the numbers say it. Not against good defensive teams. So they don't really understand it, and the stupid plays they run. Let's run right up the middle on 4th and 1, and geez, we wonder why we lose 2 yards, because they're selling out for the run. If you're going to do that, you got to do it the Dave Casper play and throw the tight end across. He's wide open. But they're not smart enough to analyze, and this is the problem. That's why in the NFL, 7, 8 coaches get fired every year, because they don't know what they're doing. They're just following analytics. They're not capable of punting for field position. We're going to play defense. We got to get defense. The Lions haven't learned. They're still with the offense. They didn't draft any defensive help. Hutchinson won't be ready for at least October. Anybody that says he's ready now is out of their fucking minds. I think that's about it. I can't find that Andy Scheckman thing that I basically told him to fuck off, that I'll never listen to you again. You don't know what you're talking about. There is no way they're going to stop using that you can't use other gold. Oh, you can't use Maple Leafs or Cougarans. What the fuck's the guy talking about? An ounce of gold's an ounce of gold. I think he's just got a lot of American gold and he's trying to sell it, but because it's more expensive, people prefer the Cougaran and the Maple Leaf, and he's trying to sell it like, oh, you only want to buy Eagles. That's such bullshit. He should be not allowed to be on anything on YouTube. Do not watch this guy. He's full of shit. He's just trying to do it for the viewers, and he's just trying to get looks, and he's just wrong. He's just, people like that should not be allowed to be on YouTube. He tries to come across like he knows what he's doing, but he always talks but doesn't say anything. And it really pissed me off yesterday, because they're gonna wait. So let me understand this. If I have Maple Leafs, they're gonna confiscate it, or I can't use it. First of all, they don't confiscate anything. All they did in 1930 is, if you had your money in the bank, they took your money but gave you the value of the gold. Gold was $20 an ounce, so they took your 10 ounces and gave you $200. They didn't confiscate it. They just bought it from you. That's all they did. They don't come to your house and go, hey, give me your gold. And if you have Maple Leafs, so you take a flight to Switzerland or somewhere in Europe and you sell it there. I mean, it's not that hard, folks. So don't listen to idiots like that. It's terrible that people like me, who are trying to help people, and you run into people like him who's trying to deceive you and are false and negative and just scammers. It's very disheartening, because people will listen to the guy. He comes across like he's nice. He's just an idiot. He will say things. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And then he's wrong on a lot. So please be careful. Don't listen to him. Certainly don't go because of the headlines. That's what he's trying to do. And he very rarely talks about the headlines in his thing. So I talked about brics. They're buying all the gold and silver, 44 countries. They're coming out with a gold-backed currency, and there's nothing Trump can do to stop it. They don't like Trump. Trump's the cause of this. He's trying to bankrupt the U.S., which is already bankrupt. So understand one thing, in real world, we are bankrupt. The U.S. is bankrupt. You only out's gold and silver. Be careful. And as far as that goes, then you just have to understand that, the dollar still works. Yeah, but what can it buy? Again, the dollar is based on value. So if it costs you $20 to buy a steak now, that shows you the value of the dollars drop because it takes more dollars to buy it. And that's kind of what Alistair McLeod tries to talk about is the dollars lost value. So it takes more dollars to buy the gold. We get that, but the actual price of the gold is based on demand. It's based on BRICS buying it. That's why gold's going up. So I got to straighten these guys out. They really don't know what they're talking about. All right, we got silver 37.20. We got gold 33.83. It'll be back tonight to 34 and change. They're just trying to hold. They're just trying to buy it. Really, they're buying it. The comex is the cheapest place to buy it. That's why people buy it. These options are just a joke. It's price fixing. J.P. Morgan, he was involved with Madoff. He's a fucking criminal, and just avoid him. Anyway, that's what's going on. I'm just so excited. I got to go buy silver for my friend, and I think I'm going to buy silver for myself again. 37.20. Before it hits 40, I better go buy more. It's just funny. Anyway, have a good day. www.teaserking.com. Anything else? BRICS, comex blowing up. They have to cover people who are taking demand, and we will see. Anything go, run and buy silver now because it's going to hit 40, it's going to hit 50. And do you want to pay $50 for silver that you can still get at 30 right now, 39.20? My guy's $2 over. All right, I will talk to you tomorrow. I do owe you the NFL, NFC, AFC draft. I think maybe I'll do that tonight. We got to see. And some potentially bad news from Daria about her daughter that I don't really want to bring public, but it's kind of got me a little spun, but we'll see. Anyway, have a good day. www.teaserking.com. Okay, thanks a lot. Questions, comments, go to www.teaserking.com. Get my email and please email me. Prof does that a lot. Okay. Have a nice day.